mind. People are different because of their different minds. It is the mind of an individual that develops the perspective to deduce meanings of feelings, emotions, and expressions. It is the mind that affirms rituals and convictions. It is the mind that develops the taste of good or bad. Mind has no biology, no chemistry, no physical geometry. But it has the most powerful privilege to continuously develop, destroy, and redevelop the psychology of brain and body. What happens in our mind space defines what's going to happen in our life space. Precisely, the quality of our mind space creates the quality of life that we live. Let's understand the mind space that we have. The core brain is universally common in all of us, but the elaborate phase of brain is surely different. Brain has its own reflex functions at one side, but on the other side it provides a limitless size of blank canvas. From the birth till age, knowingly or unknowingly, we keep writing our learnings, experiences, feelings, and observations on this blank canvas with various colorful markers. Few markers are permanent, few are temporary. What we write or allow others to write goes into the memory and becomes our frame of reference. Our frame of reference. Combining brain and this canvas together forms a more prominent new identity called the mind. Mind is the reason for our understanding and conscience. It is the creator of our thought process. It can superpower us to achieve the apex of success. It can deprive us to a mediocrity of life filled with wants and wishes. Mind is the creator of who we are and enabler of what we can be. With the enormous capabilities of mind, we can envision about what all great things we want to achieve. Mind has a magical capability to produce fascinating thoughts around real as well as imaginary things and situations. It obligates the shades of our thoughts. It compels the contents of what we think. Yes, the content of what we think. The parody is each one of us carry different content, and that's why think differently. Some of us cultivate self-motivational thoughts to correct unproductive actions and results that we have produced in past. Some of us cultivate demotivating thoughts towards corrective actions and prefer to blame on the situation or people for bootless results. The astounding fact is both kind of people want to achieve an abundance of success. We certainly know what we should think and what we should not. Still, we keep thinking more about challenges, anxieties, problems, risks, and failures than kindness, empathy, joy, solutions, opportunities, and success. Undoubtedly, what we think is what we produce. Since mind has no physical shape, no biological evidence, no weight, it cannot be touched or seen. It's just not possible to see the mind by any medical instrument or surgery. Something which is invisible, intangible, and impalpable is actually controlling our material and emotional life. It is defining the way we think, act, and live. Looks enormously strange. What this mind is, why it thinks, what it thinks, and how. Why not everyone's mind produces success-friendly thoughts? Why one can't look away from the black spots, but the other can see the whole bright white canvas of opportunities? Why some people are capable to overcome most adverse situations nicely, while others just get stuck and get diminished? It's because of person's individual nature. Is it so? If so, then why not all people have right personal nature to attain success in each and every activity that they do? What defeats their desire and willpower? Is it a predefined fate? If it is a predefined fate, then who has defined it and why it has discriminated from one person to the other? Is he not a well-wisher for everyone equally? It may be a controversial matter for medical science to approve, but astronomy claims to predict future and elaborate past of one's life through some typical calculations based on birthplace and birth time. If mind is the controller of life, then how astrology can predict the fate? But it is believed that it does. A newborn baby has no mind, but just the biological brain. And astrology provides a lot of lateral information about the future of the baby. Coincidentally, in some cases, these predictions have been found true as well. Does that mean astrology or any other logical, mathematical, spiritual science can tell who is going to succeed and who is going to fail? And in which field of work? If it can, then life is a simple toss of the coin. Toss it and accept what it brings as a predefined fate. Why to struggle? And struggle for what? But hey, wait a minute. If you know your fate or future and you don't like it, then what? Can you declare yourself helpless and start living the fate-driven life that you enormously dislike? Certainly not. Rather, you will deny accepting the fate you dislike and will choose to struggle hard and harder to achieve a new fortune that you can admire. Though this scenario is hypothetical, but there are numerous real scenarios where you choose to deny something available for something better that is not even visible. Such denials take a lot of courage and strength. This strength gives you the power to combat against unsought. But from where this strength comes from? Whenever you are in trouble, you always have three choices really. Easiest one is to surrender before the problem and suffer. Difficult one is to accept the problem and give a try to overcome. Toughest one is to keep combating with the problem until you overcome and win. Which option you will choose is going to decide what fate you will create for yourself. But then the question is, what is the source of your weaknesses to surrender or strength to conquer? What is there in you that will push you hard to choose the easiest or toughest option? Possibly that source is your willpower. Yes, possibly that source is your willpower. Abundance of willpower is miraculously capable to rise your ordinary strength into an extraordinary measure. The one who has a strong willpower can limitlessly expand its horizon to overcome difficulties. It can climb the steepest mountain to its highest peak, swim against most turbulent flow of sea or dive from the most dreadful altitude. He can be an invincible sports person. He can stretch himself to a superhuman. Certainly, it seems that all we need to achieve success is a firm willpower. Yes, bang on, but it's not over. The person elevated with the strongest willpower can achieve tremendous success, but only there where majorly individual performance counts for success. Wherever it takes more than individual contribution, even the man with the strongest willpower may fail if he does not know to collaborate with people to produce collective performance. That's the reason willpower alone usually does not work in establishing a gratifying social and emotional relationship with other people. This is the reason why people at once achieve enormous success through their individual performance but fail in socio-emotional environment. For example, a scholar who scores highest marks in university exams may not necessarily attain top score success in professional, personal, or social life. As humans, we need a lot of emotional and social support to attain desired quality of life and desired level of success. To cultivate a successful life, willpower alone is not enough. What more it takes then? It takes honest support from people around us. We can't go far without people's support. Now the question is, how can we ensure the availability of right support at right time from the right people? There must be some kind of inductive positive influence oozing out from our behavior that is not only capable to connect well with people but also capable to motivate them so positively that they genuinely feel happy to extend their hands in our support for our success, and that too unconditionally. But from here, that inductive positive influence can be manifested. The source is present somewhere deep within us. That's our personal core. That's our personal core. Yes. It's our personal core that spreads pleasant aroma of inductive positive influence or squishy smell of deductive negative menace. Human society runs on give and take phenomena of life. We may get support only as a return of our behavioral, financial, or emotional investments that we did before asking for the support. Unconditional support comes out only from the cognates, the blood relations, and that too up to a certain age only. And the fact is, real life begins beyond the comfortable periphery of cognates, where any support never comes unconditional. Indeed, with a little extraordinary personal effort, the periphery of cognates can be expanded to encircle spouse, few relatives, and few friends as well. The expanded periphery of unconditional support forms the core of our personal life. It is the wellness of our personal core that defines and decides our personal well-being. If our personal core is not well, then no willpower can sustain our strength for long. It's very difficult to lay down the foundation of any success with an unwell core, because it becomes source of emotional fatigue that leads us to literally collapse at one point in time. On the contrary, healthy core is the source of extensive emotional strength that keeps us energized and enthusiastic even in the toughest adversities. It's our mandatory responsibility to maintain the warmth within our personal core before we step into the outer world every day. As soon as we cross the fringe of expanded periphery of cognates, we enter the real external world. The world is tough, wild, and uneasy. Behaviors we get there are unpredictable and afflictive, and that makes it hard to establish trust and favorable relationships. In such a boisterous environment, is it possible to motivate people for their unconditional support and contribution in our success? Well, if impossible is nothing, then answer should be yes. But it is one of the toughest chores of human life. We must understand that such motivation can never be imposed on people from outside in. It has to be elicited from inside out. People will never get motivated to work for your success. Rather, if you succeed a bit on your own, you may face their jealousy and dislike. People will support you only when they constitute significant gain for themselves as well. It means to succeed, you will need to make others also succeed along with you. If you are enthusiastic about your anticipated success, that's a great feeling, but only for you, not for others. Only for you, not for others. Others will not resemble with that feeling unless they envision their share as well. They will not envision their share unless you create an environment of emotional flow from you to them. The flow will not stream unless both do not share the same line of thought to move together. As soon as thoughts conflict, the complete structure of motivation may collapse in a blink. The ripple effect in no time further may collapse trust, togetherness, and even the plan of success. Behind every success, there is a sensible action. Behind every action, there is unceasing motivation. Behind every motivation, there is a line of thought, and behind every thought, there is an ingenious mind. Busted motivation disturbs the mind, sometimes up to the level of depression. It's a situation of loss of productive thoughts. It's a situation of loss of productive thoughts. After elapsing the precious momentum, it becomes enormously difficult to rebuild the same motivation again. It looks easy to change the goal itself than reconstructing the collapsed structure. It's a situation when we need our personal core the most. If our personal core is healthy, it provides us the strength and energy to rebuild. If not, we go weak